Breaking news: political and social shifts unfold across Nigeria amid calls for integrity and stability. Today, we bring you comprehensive coverage of Nigeria's most pressing developments. From ongoing party crises in the PDP to President Tinubu's call for integrity in the media, and from the looming Ondo polls to major upheavals within the military, Nigeria's political and social landscapes are evolving rapidly. This segment breaks down each story in detail, analyzing the implications and what it all means for citizens and stakeholders alike. PDP crisis deepens amid leadership absences. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, once a formidable political force, is experiencing deep internal crises as top leaders such as Atiku Abubakar, National Chairman Umar Damagum, and Governor Nyesom Wike were noticeably absent from a recent crisis resolution meeting. The absence of these key figures has raised concerns about the future of Nigeria's largest opposition party and whether it can remain united as it heads into a critical political season. The meeting, attended by other PDP stalwarts, sought to address factionalism and infighting, but the lack of participation from Atiku and Wike has cast doubts on its effectiveness. As the PDP struggles with internal disunity, the stakes are high for Nigeria's political future. The upcoming elections will test the party's capacity to regain relevance. Many observers believe that without the involvement of high-profile leaders like Atiku, efforts to resolve ongoing disputes may be in vain. The tension has already led to a dwindling public perception, with members openly criticizing the lack of cohesion and direction. The party's challenges are made worse by a lack of alignment on key policies and campaign strategies. Grassroots supporters are growing increasingly concerned about the leadership's ability to present a united front. The absence of key leaders in critical meetings only amplifies the narrative of disarray, leaving the public to wonder if the PDP can mount a credible challenge in the next elections. How the party handles this internal conflict in the coming weeks will shape not only its future but also Nigeria's broader political stability. Tinubu and Governor Diri urge media for integrity. President Bola Tinubu has called on Nigerian media managers to uphold integrity and ensure factual reporting. Speaking at a media event, Tinubu emphasized that the responsibility of shaping public perception and holding power to account rests heavily on media professionals. He argued that the era of misinformation has done considerable harm to societal trust, and now, more than ever, the press needs to be committed to truth and balanced journalism. Governor Diri of Bayelsa State echoed this sentiment, urging media practitioners to protect their integrity in a landscape filled with fake news and sensational headlines. Governor Diri's remarks highlighted the importance of media credibility in maintaining social cohesion. He warned that once integrity is compromised, it becomes challenging for journalists to regain public trust that is crucial for societal progress. The call for integrity from both leaders reflects a broader concern about the role of media in shaping democracy. Journalists have increasingly found themselves at the center of politically charged narratives, with some accused of bias and misinformation. By urging the media to focus on accuracy, both Tinubu and Diri are pushing for a more informed electorate, one that can make decisions based on fact rather than manipulated narratives. Grid collapse: Power Minister moves for change. Following the recent national grid collapse, Nigeria's Minister of Power has ordered the immediate implementation of recommendations made by a special committee. The grid collapse, which resulted in widespread power outages across multiple states, has become an alarming trend, raising questions about the reliability of the country's energy infrastructure. This directive aims to stabilize the power grid and prevent further collapses, which have severely affected both industry and households. The committee's recommendations include infrastructural investments and updated maintenance protocols to strengthen the aging grid system. Experts argue that without urgent action, the recurring failures could significantly hamper economic growth and productivity. The grid collapse is not just a technical issue, it has major economic and social ramifications for millions of Nigerians who rely on stable electricity for their livelihoods. Implementing these recommendations is seen as a critical first step, but some critics are concerned that bureaucratic inefficiencies could delay real progress. There is also skepticism about whether the government's actions will address the root causes of the grid's fragility, which include underinvestment and mismanagement. This recent move by the Power Minister, however, signals at least a recognition of the severity of the problem and a commitment to finding a solution. Security tightened ahead of Ondo polls. With the Ondo state gubernatorial election approaching, the Nigerian police force has announced plans to deploy 22,239 officers to ensure a peaceful electoral process. This decision comes amid heightened tensions, with the police warning political thugs against any attempts to disrupt the election. This large-scale deployment highlights the government's intent to maintain order and protect voters as they exercise their civic rights. In addition to the deployment of officers, surveillance technology and rapid response units are being put in place. The move comes as a response to the challenges experienced during previous elections, where violence and voter intimidation threatened the integrity of the process. The Inspector General of Police stressed that anyone caught attempting to interfere with the elections would face severe consequences. The upcoming election is a litmus test for Nigeria's democracy, with many seeing it as an indicator of the country's ability to conduct peaceful and credible elections. Observers will be watching closely to see how effectively the police can prevent disruptions and ensure that all citizens are able to vote freely and without fear. A successful election in Ondo could set a positive precedent for the upcoming general elections. Battle with oil mafia, Obagbina's call for accountability. Media mogul Nduka Obagbina has urged the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, to address the issue of the oil mafia, which he says is undermining the country's energy sector. Obagbina highlighted the need for Nigeria's refineries to be fully operational to reduce dependence on imported fuel and to counteract the influence of corrupt entities that control the oil market. He argued that without functional refineries, Nigeria would remain at the mercy of external forces that keep fuel prices high and supplies unpredictable. The battle against oil cartels has long been a contentious issue, with various administrations promising reforms but falling short of tangible results. Obagbina's statements come at a time when fuel prices are skyrocketing, and ordinary Nigerians are feeling the pinch of a struggling energy sector. He stressed that holding the oil mafia accountable and revamping the refineries are crucial steps towards achieving energy independence. The NNPCL faces a considerable challenge in addressing these systemic issues. The oil mafia's control over the supply chain has stifled competition and led to widespread inefficiencies. If the government can successfully take on these powerful interests, it could lead to more affordable fuel, economic growth, and greater energy security for Nigeria. #End Bad Governance protests, legal controversy over minors. The Attorney General of the Federation has defended the decision to prosecute minors involved in the #End Bad Governance protests, stating that such actions are not against the law. This statement has sparked debate among human rights groups and legal experts, who argue that the prosecution of minors for participating in peaceful protests sets a dangerous precedent. The AGF argued that under Nigerian law, minors can face legal actions depending on the severity of the offense. Human rights organizations have countered this stance, emphasizing the importance of protecting young people's rights to free speech and peaceful assembly. They argue that involving minors in legal proceedings for protest actions can have lasting psychological effects and may deter future civic engagement among the youth. The #End Bad Governance protests have become symbolic of a broader struggle for reform and accountability in Nigeria. The involvement of minors highlights the movement's reach and the desire among younger generations for systemic change. As the legal battles continue, the world will be watching to see how Nigeria balances law enforcement with citizens' rights to dissent. Army shakeup after Lagbaja's death. The recent death of Major General Lagbaja has triggered an impending shakeup in the Nigerian army, with several top generals expected to be redeployed. Lagbaja, a key figure in Nigeria's military strategy, played a pivotal role in various operations across the country. His untimely death has left a gap in military leadership, and the anticipated reshuffle aims to stabilize the command structure and maintain ongoing operations. Reports indicate that this redeployment will affect not just senior officers but also middle-level commanders. The Army's leadership is keen on ensuring that there is no vacuum in command, especially given the current security challenges facing the nation. The death of Lag Baha has brought to light the complexities of succession planning within the military and the need for a robust leadership pipeline. The Nigerian army has faced numerous challenges in recent years, from counterinsurgency efforts to maintaining internal stability. The upcoming shakeup is seen as a strategic move to position capable officers in key roles to continue these efforts. The success of this reshuffle will be crucial in determining the Army's ability to effectively address security threats and maintain public confidence in its capabilities. Aisha Yusufu speaks on misogyny. Activist Aisha Yusufu has made a bold statement regarding societal attitudes towards women, asserting that no woman is exempt from being labeled negatively, regardless of her behavior or achievements. Yusufu's comments shine a spotlight on the pervasive misogyny that women in Nigeria and around the world face. She argued that these derogatory labels are often used to diminish women's accomplishments and to maintain societal control over them. Yusufu's remarks have resonated widely, especially among women's rights advocates who see this as an opportunity to challenge entrenched gender stereotypes. The activist highlighted how these labels are used to discourage women from participating in public life, whether in politics, business, or activism. By addressing this issue openly, Yusufu is calling for a change in the way society views and treats women. The challenges faced by women in Nigeria are multifaceted, from gender-based violence to limited opportunities for leadership. Yusufu's call to action is a reminder that until these harmful stereotypes are dismantled, true gender equality will remain out of reach. Her statement has sparked conversations on social media, with many joining in to share their own experiences and to demand better treatment for women. From political turbulence in the PDP and calls for media integrity to critical developments in the energy sector and gender rights, Nigeria is at a pivotal moment. These stories reflect the ongoing challenges and opportunities in shaping the nation's future. As these events unfold, they will undoubtedly leave lasting impacts on the political, economic, and social fabric of the country. If you found this coverage insightful, please subscribe, like, and share for more in-depth analysis of Nigeria's most pressing issues. Stay informed and be part of the conversation shaping our future.